Most of us have been sold a lie. We've been led to believe that getting into a relationship is going to solve all of our problems. But usually, what ends up happening is you get into that relationship and you just get exposed to what your own problems are. You see, it doesn't really make sense to be dating until you solve those problems. Now, if you take this stance and you're open about it, people are going to assume that you hate women. They're going to say things like, oh, you're just bitter and you got your heart broken. And you just have to understand that you're putting yourself first. You want to be the best man for your future wife, and you're not going to get there by sleeping with women that you meet at the club. I also have something called the male advantage, which is very important if we're going to be breaking this down. But before we do that, my name is Malcolm Tibbs. I'm 24 years old. I've been doing self-improvement for about 7 years now. I've seen all the highs and lows when it comes to relationships, right? I got to keep it simple. I've been in the worst situations and I've been in the best situations. I know the do's and the don'ts, right? I want to help other men avoid making the same mistakes that I did, because you can get scarred by women. And if I can help men avoid that, then hell yeah, But with that being said, let's talk about the male advantage, okay? The male advantage is not up for discussion. It is just a fact. It says that men are going to get more attractive as they age. Typically, we peak around the age of 35. Now, this varies for different men depending on your lifestyle and the things that you're doing. But typically, you can assume that as you are getting older, until you hit about 30, you are gaining value on our sexual market. In other words, as you age, you get access to higher caliber women. But you have to keep in mind that the male advantage only really sticks. It only makes sense if you are working on yourself. If you're spending your 20s and, your early 30s just fucking around doing the same thing that all your friends are doing, right? Going to the clubs, getting high, trying drugs, right? What's going to end up happening is you're going to be banking on this male advantage, and then you're going to hit 35 and you're going to be the same loser that you were. And no woman's going to want you. You have to be working on yourself for the male advantage to take off. You look at Drake or Nick Cannon, right? These are all men who were, kind of higher status before they really hit their peak. But there is a considerable difference. If you look at them at the beginning of their careers versus where they're at now, like Drake, everybody knows Drake, right? He went from the kid from Degrassi to fucking Drake, right? With the beard and it's the male advantage. It's simply because it takes time to fine tune yourself. You can't skip that process. Now, the second thing you need to realize is that life is better without a girlfriend, right? You might not believe me, especially if you've been heavily brainwashed to the point where you think a relationship is going to solve all your problems. But trust me, once you get to the point where you stop wanting a girlfriend, right? It's very important. You have to get to that point first. Once you stop wanting a girlfriend, life becomes a cakewalk. It is bliss. That's the best word I could use to describe it. It's peaceful. There's no drama. There's no dates that you have to plan, right? Your house can be a little dirty, but usually what ends up happening is you stop focusing so much on women, right? Once you get to this point where you stop wanting a girlfriend, and all that time gets focused back on yourself. So even things like the house being dirty, yeah, it's a little bit better. It's more comfortable for things to be messy, but I've found myself, I keep things way cleaner because I'm not spending time on Tinder or Instagram, right? It's like, my house is a mess and it's just me. I want a clean house, right? Let me clean my house, It's really interesting, but once you make that mental shift, it is a mental shift. You start to take care of yourself in a way that you didn't even think to do before. It's really strange. It's something that you just have to experience, right? But again, it's a mental thing. You have to stop wanting a girlfriend. Don't start hating women, right? That's not what I'm advocating for. Love women, appreciate them, but stop feeling dependent on them. And then you'll start to foster. And then you'll start to foster. Now, the last thing I want to let you guys know is that if we are banking on this male advantage, we have to look at women like they are liabilities, okay? Now, this doesn't mean that we can't have fun and we can't go out and we can't get it on every now and then, right? What this means is that we cannot commit, or rather we shouldn't commit. You see, 9 times out of 10, the woman who you think is the best option for you is actually just the woman who's giving you the best sex. Now, the woman who you should actually be committing to is the woman who's helping you get towards your purpose faster. As a man, your purpose should be your main priority 24/7. For me, it's growing this YouTube channel and helping other men who've gone through similar problems as myself. But there's very few women who are going to help me do this better. And so adding them into my life is more of a liability. It's more of just a distraction. I'd really just be keeping them around because the sex is crazy. Now, every once in a while, you will find that woman that just wants to support you. She's going to go out of her way, right? For me, it might be she edits my YouTube videos, or she cleans the house for me, or she might be supporting me financially, right? This is the kind of woman that you want to commit to. But bear in mind, right? You only want to commit to her as long as she is helping you get towards your purpose. The second you've completed your purpose, the second you feel like she's slowing you down, the second you feel like she has become a liability instead of an asset, that is when you have to cut the string. There is a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy, Dating Essentials, right, by Robert Glover. This is like the second, the sequel to the book No More Mr. Nice Guy, the original. What he says in there is that the best skill that men need to adopt, especially if they feel like they're this nice guy who's just not getting the intimacy that he feels he deserves, right? The best skill that this man needs to acquire is the skill of ending relationships. You see, most of us are bad enders. We get into a relationship that's nice at first, but we let it last way too long. It goes on for way too long, and it turns into something nasty. It turns into, this woman was helping me and I love her and this is great, to this woman is the only thing I'm thinking about and I'm losing sleep over her, and oh my God, she posted this thing with a personal trainer and I think she used to fuck him. Why is she posting? She's posting this for... It starts to fuck with your mental health, right? You need to know when to end things, right? I wasn't supposed to talk that long. We're already 7 minutes deep, so I just want you guys need to understand this, right? You got sold a lie, okay? This comes from feminism. It goes all the way back to like the 50s, World War II, Rosie the Riveter, right? This has been a trend in our society for quite a while. Women have just been becoming more masculine, and the media, the propaganda you've been consuming, has been advocating for men to become more feminine. And so you have to understand that the reason why shit is the way that it is because of modern gender roles. It's because of feminism. It's because men want to be like women and women want to be like men, but nobody's happy. Okay, nobody's happy with this. If you're struggling with relationships, if you feel like you're hopeless, if you feel like women are the antichrist, like I've been there before, believe me, I've been there before. It gets better. You just have to stop being dependent on them. You have to drop this propaganda that says that they are the end all be all, that they will solve your problems. They won't. You are living your life. You have to solve your own problems. A woman can only help you do that. She can't do that for you. And she doesn't want to. But that's a video for another time. Anyways, this has been Malcolm Tibbs, right? This has been a great take. This actually only took me about 3 times to sit down and record, so I'm happy with this. Hopefully you guys got something good out of this video. I'm going to go ahead and plug myself and end it. So if you check in the description down below, I'm offering one-on-one coaching. If that's something you're interested in, add me up on Instagram and shoot me a message and we can get that set up. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with a friend. Hey, if you're still watching at this point, we're 9 minutes deep at this point. If you're still watching, either you're playing Minecraft or some shit, which shame on you, you're too old to be playing Minecraft, man. Or you actually just like the shit that I'm saying. You like the way that I say it. So hit that subscribe button, right? It's a win-win for both of us. That's all I got for you guys. I'm out.